Hi folks, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report. I'm down on Cayuga Lake to spend some time with my buddy Dave Swanson, and there's always been some questions I want to ask him. You know, Dave spent much of his life up in our area, in the Canton area, and out in the woods and on the waters up in that region. So, Dave, here's what I really wanted to ask you. You know, just before you moved back down here to where you were born and where you grew up, you were helping us take soldiers and different family members out fishing for muskies in the Grass River. And I always knew that every time you took somebody out, they always had a great day. And I wanted to ask you now, when you continue to take people out here and on Cayuga Lake, and a lot of times the people you take out aren't really fishermen. This is kind of a new sport for them. And so what do you think is the most important thing a person like you can do when you're taking new people out on the water to assure that they have a great day and they look back and say, boy, we wish we could find more guides like Dave Swanson. So how does that hit you?
That's a tough one, Don. I mean, obviously catching fish is pretty critical, but I think also making people feel comfortable with being on the boat and feeling like there's no mistake that they can make and nothing that they can do wrong, because there's a lot that they can do wrong that is going to impact their fishing, but to make them feel like, you know, they can't really make a mistake, because sometimes the times that you make a mistake are the very times that you're most likely to catch a fish, because you've done something different that causes the fish to react. But I think I don't try to run have a running conversation, but we talk about a lot of things besides fishing while we're out on the water. I do want to make a point though. I don't guide people. I can't be a guide on Cayuga Lake, but I have a lot of friends that have all wanted to fish, and so I've brought them here and taken them out, and so that's. But and that I like to think they all have a good time doing it.
Well, here's what I'm getting at. You know, when Linda and I came down here to see you, and we knew we were going to spend time on the water, I had no idea about how we fish Cayuga Lake, and I think I'm reflecting what it's like when we go to sports shows and we talk to families that are wanting to come up to the North Country and visit some of the places we talk about around Meissner. And this really hit me. You were able to take us out, and I know Linda never caught a fish before, and she caught a fish that would be most people's biggest fish of a lifetime yesterday. And Linda and I will talk about that on another show sometime. But this really had an impact on me, because you made it so enjoyable for us, and you made it possible for us to understand why we had to do what we did with the lure and so forth. So I think this is critical, because I've always said, if we're going to bring families up to the North Country, fishing the St. Lawrence is just as unique as fishing here in Cayuga Lake. You know, you just can't get out there, get in a boat and go out and say, I've arrived, and start catching all the fish you see on TV. And it's really an important thing to me, is to know that if people trust us enough to be interested to come up to the North Country, we tell them it's a wonderful place to fish. I think it's important that we have certain people that are able to take them out and show them what the different type of fishing in our area is. So anyway, Dave, I want to thank you for the tremendous trip that we've had, and hope that we can talk to you more in the future about certain fishing tips that hopefully we can help people with. And you know, one of the things I did want to talk about is some of the videos and radio shows that I've done, but the videos that we put together, that you have created this sort of showcase up North NY that I've talked about so much on the radio. You know, that's what's drawing so many people to our area. And so you're certainly doing something right there. Thanks, Dave. And folks, I've still got another story I want to tell you on another report. Until next time, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report.